If they were 100% honest with you, what would they say? Let's start with our old trusty deck, because I feel like we need some really deep, insightful information, which our old trusty deck always brings to the table. So let's just see what we have. I want you to let yourself get really clear out those pathways, but also let yourself see this person, see the energy of this person, their face. Just sort of tap in to this person. Okay, here we go. Oh, we have the King of Cups. We have the Hangman. We have the Four of Wands. We have the Nine of Cups. Oh my goodness, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Well, you came to this reading for a reason, and our old trusty deck is telling you exactly what it is. This is good. I mean, oh gosh, this is strong. King of Cups, Hanged Man, Four of Wands, Nine of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. There's not one thing here that is showing up that's saying like, no, it's all saying, yeah. If they were 100% honest with you, they would tell you how much they feel for you. They feel so much. There's so much going on here. There's such a depth of emotion. We start with the King of Cups, and this is just saying, I have this ocean of feeling and emotion for you. My heart is just expanding out in all directions when I think about you. It goes so deep. It goes as deep as the ocean. It's uncontrollable. It is this masculine force, but it is also just a wave of feeling. I feel it deep in the pit of my stomach. There's something in me that just is completely about you. The Hanged Man comes next, and this feels like this card that says, I can wait for however long I need to wait. This can take as long as it needs to take. This doesn't have to be like other people. I don't need this to be in somebody else's vision or somebody else's dream. I just need this to be whatever it is. It can be completely different. It can be in a different timetable. It can be on a different time frame. It can be in our own way. It can be with our own rules. We can do this the way that we want to do this. We can have patience, and I can have patience, and I can wait as long as you need me to wait. I can sit back and just watch and wait until the time is right before I act and move, which feels like what this person is doing, and why this is showing up as the second card. That like, hey, I'm just gonna wait and see, because I don't want to move too fast. I don't want to move in too quickly. I don't want to do something that skitters you off or scares you off. I don't want to ruin the potential here, because the potential feels so strong and such a violence of emotion. I mean, I say violence, but that's not really the right word, I suppose. It's just like this overwhelming sense of emotion and feeling and potential. The Four of Wands comes next, which is, I sometimes call it the 11-11 card. The two wands and the two wands get into that fire, passion, purpose, movement, growth. It is this beautiful card that has this kind of like wedding vibe to it. There is something really, put the potential, that they feel the potential. It feels like the moment they saw you, the moment they knew, there was something that clicked for them at some point along the way. There was something somewhere that clicked and said, oh, okay, I think they're it. I think that this is the thing. I think this is where I'm meant to be. I think this is the person I'm meant to be with. I think this is the it. And again, I'm gonna hang back. I'm not gonna do anything to ruffle feathers or mess this up. But I think we've landed. I think we've arrived, because we have the Nine of Cups after, and the Cups again, feelings and emotions. King of Cups. Nine of Cups is kind of this genie in the bottle card of, it really feels like all this potential to bring in everything that they want in their heart space, all the feeling, all the emotion, every single good thing. There's so much feeling, so much emotion, such potential, such overwhelm. It's just available. It feels like it's so available. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, which I also love. Now, Pentacles get into things of this earth. And I'm feeling this, this is like an investment card. This can sometimes get into money, but I really see this as like an investment in showing upness. Like, hey, I want to physically be present in your world. I want to show up for you. I want to be consistent. I want to be that person you can rely on when you cannot rely on anyone else. You can rely on me, that I will be there, that I will show up, that I will give you what you need, that I will take care of you, that I will protect you. Every day I'm here. I'm showing up every day. I'm consistently doing that for you. This is who they want to be for you. I mean, whoa, 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 right? Wow, what a first pull. Thank you to our old trusty deck. Let's go to our blue deck. Let's go to our blue deck. I want to take a look. Okay, before I go to our blue deck, actually, I'm gonna dip over to our lavender deck. I'm gonna dip over to our lavender deck, and I'm gonna ask our lavender deck for some read on you and your energy that we need to know. Because if this person were 100% honest, whoa, that's a lot. So if you feel this, like if you feel the potential of this, if you are interested in this, if you want to move this forward, what does that look like? Like, is there something in you that is blocking this? Is there anything we need to know about your energy? Is there something about, what do we need to know about you showing up here? So I really just want to read into your energy first of all. I don't want to go too far into a deep question, because I think I want our cards to have the opportunity just to say, hey, you really need to take a look at, hey, this is what I'm picking up on for you. Okay, so I have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, I have the Eight of Swords. I have the Temperance card reversed. I have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, I love that. And I have another 8. I have the Eight of Cups. So I have 2 8s, and both of these 8s are a little eek, that are in your energy, which is pretty interesting. I have Temperance reversed as well, which we have 2 very strong, strong stabilizing cards with our Ace of Pentacles and our Queen of Pentacles. So what I'm seeing here, first of all, is with the Ace of Pentacles, first of all, before I get into all of this, okay, never mind. I'm gonna do it in order. Okay, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles, Ace is bringing in new opportunities, and the Pentacles, again, getting into things of this earth, which could be that value, that could be that oh, you need this showing upness from this person, that maybe you need that consistency before you can make that same kind of commitment to this person. It looks like you're doing some healing. The cards are sort of telling us you're in a place where you have some stuff going on. You're doing some healing. You're a little off balance in certain ways. We have the Temperance card reversed. We have, there's a little bit of a mindset shift that needs to happen for you before you might be really ready to be in a healthy, strong relationship. And it looks like you're moving away from something that held a lot of heart space for you. So it looks like you're doing some healing. You're in a space where you've got some stuff going on. Your foundation is so strong that we have the Queen of Pentacles. Your foundation is so strong. You're such a strong individual. You do have this consistency. So for yourself, even if things are really off, even if you're in these sort of mind games with yourself, even if you're in this heart space of letting go and moving on from something old, you do know that you are a solid person. You know that you can come back to yourself. That even if you doubt that sometimes, if you really look at the facts of who you are, if you look at, what you've been through, that you're really solid. You have a really strong foundation of you, of who you are in this world. You can take care of yourself. You can take care of the people in your life that you love. You make it work. You can be scrappy. You can be after it. You can do what you need to do to hustle. You can do what you need to do to grow, and you can make sure it all happens. And you can plant a garden and you can grow it all around you, and you're good at it. So you have this foundation that's really, really strong. But the Ace of Pentacles is for saying that you might need these new opportunities to come in, and they are coming in for you. And I think they're coming in with this person. We just finished off with the Eight of Pentacles for this person. Now we have these 2 other 8s for you. So we're sort of leaving this person's energy. And I think this right into the Ace of Pentacles, which I think is saying oh yeah, you might need that. You might need a little bit of that in your life, that is something you might need to nurture and nourish yourself. And that you didn't really know that you needed that consistency. You didn't really know that you needed somebody to show up for you like that, because maybe nobody has in your whole life except for yourself. Maybe you've been the only person who's been that consistent for you. And suddenly there's this new person, but you still need, and this could be an old person, but they're showing up in a different way, but you might still need proof. You might need to see it, you might need to feel it in order for this healing to happen and for you to be in a place where you can lean into this person, step in fully. Which is really interesting, because sometimes what we want is like, yes, I say yes to this person. Yes, 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 I want this. But the person can read that there's also part of your energy that's saying, no, I'm actually not ready. No, I'm actually a little trapped. Because this person might be reading, the energy is reading, the cards are saying, hey, there's a part of you that is a little trapped. There's a part of you that is a little tormented by your own thoughts. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel safe with you, that you feel a little bound up. You feel a little imprisoned. You feel like your own thoughts are kind of torturing you, that you aren't able to get free from it, that you're not able to move to a new space that feels sunshiny and good and happy and content and feels, it feels a little tortured right now. And this is something you can set yourself free from. And not only is it something you can, but you do have to set yourself free from it. That ultimately, in order to lean into this person, you will have to be the one to say, I'm stepping out of this. I don't want this anymore. I don't want this kind of mental space. I don't want to live in this kind of, this kind of experience. I'm not interested in this. And I choose to be in that sunny space. I choose to be in contentment. I choose happiness. I'm choosing my own happiness. There's also the Temperance reverse card coming in that says something is out of balance with you, that there might be something that you might be, and you will know exactly what this is. This could be something, this could be food, it could be alcohol, it could be, binge watching a TV show, it could be playing phone games, this could be any kind of like thing that feels like it is negatively weighted in one direction, that you are kind of like having a problem with something. If you feel like there's a problem, and this could be your thoughts, this could just be that negative mental space that is the problem, that there is something out of balance, and the thing that's out of balance is your mindset that you just can't get clear, that it's very hard to let go of. But the cards are saying, like there is room to grow here. Like this is a space that you will want to investigate in order to be able to be in a space where you are really in a healthy, happy, woohoo, let's lean into a gorgeous potential for a relationship. Let's also, when we're gonna need to get even in this space. So whatever that thing is that feels like it's going off the deep end, whether it is your mindset or your thoughts or like an actual behavior or shopping or internet or scrolling or whatever it could be, but it doesn't feel good is the thing. Basically, it's it's not something you want in your life, or that you don't want to continue that particular habit or that particular thing or that particular mental space, that's going to need some attention. But you have the ability, the cards do remind you that you have the ability, that yes, you may have needed that. You may have needed to be a little disassociative. You may have needed to, that online shopping served some sort of a function, like you might have needed that in that moment, that you just needed to think about something else because of those thoughts and because of that mind space. You just needed to be able to get out of it, and that helped you do it. And you ultimately are in a very solid space. So coming back to yourself, coming back to your rootedness, and I would say get outside too, get into nature. This is a very growth-oriented energy. If you can get into a space that's like a garden or flowers blooming or trees growing, where it feels like you can put your bare feet on the earth, that feeling of like, oh, I'm connected to what is just baseline. I am connected to the air. I am connected to my own breath. I'm connected to the heartbeat of the earth. I am connected. And then we have the Eight of Cups, which is that like, oh, you're letting go of something. There is a part of your heart space that is working on putting distance between you and something that held a lot of heart space for you. Now, we ended their polls of how they think about you. If they were going to be 100% honest, what they would say that with that Eight of Pentacles, we're ending you with that Eight of Cups. Two very different feelings. So it feels like they're in a very solid space, actually. And it feels like you're not as in a solid space as they are. So there might be a part of you that has a little bit of catching up to do. And you might be like, well, I can't, there might be a part of you that just wants to like, hey, but I just want to lean into this right now, even if I'm not ready. But the cards are kind of saying, well, you know what to do. That kind of needs to be addressed. That's not really an option, perhaps. Or perhaps it is. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's take a look at if you wanted to move this forward, if you're interested in moving into this and like taking this from like, oh, maybe we're in a hanged man space of waiting, of patience, of just sort of feeling things out. And you were like, I want to be in Chariot energy moving forward. I want to be in Eight of Wands energy, just leaning in and moving forward. What would that action look like for you? What would that action look like for you? What would be the sort of, I'm gonna go for three blue cards. And I just want to take a look at like what would the action look like for you in order to sort of match his energy? And what would be the thing? We have the Page of Swords. Yeah, we have the Emperor. And it's interesting, we have the Seven of Wands reversed. So I did mention the Eight of Wands, and the Seven of Wands reverse is definitely not that energy, but the action items that the cards are giving us are, first of all, the pages are these youthful messenger cards. So the Page of Swords is really saying, swords getting into that mental space is that you need to be clear on what you want and how you feel and be able to communicate it. And you don't necessarily have to communicate it to this person yet. The first objective is to communicate it to yourself. So this gets into journaling, and I would put this on paper as opposed to just saying it out loud. I love just saying things out loud though. I think, you take a voice note, you can sort of hash things out by speaking them out loud. I think that's great. And if journaling is like, you're like, I struggle to get that journal down, then do that, speak it out loud. But if you can, I'm asking for action items, so I want you to journal this and say it as if you were telling this person, or just say it to get clear with yourself. How is it that you really feel about this person? How is it you feel about yourself and your feelings and your emotions? Get really clear and specific on what's going on in your mental space about how you feel, what is your personal truth about this person? What is going on with you and your personal truth about your heart? Getting clarity, getting truth seeing, and really putting it into a space where you feel like you can communicate it to yourself, first of all, and then getting to a space where you could communicate it to that person as well. Now we have the Emperor here too, and the Emperor is a really powerful dominant masculine energy, and we're asking for action items for you. So things that would make it more available to this person or what this person might need as well, but what you can do to help move into this. So I do think there's an achiever energy here that is like this kind of like, hey, I've done this. Oh, really? Well, I've already done that. I've done that before. I know I can do, X, Y, and Z because I've done that. So I want you to actually, and once again, we're going back to our old trusty journal. Now, this can be journaling, or this could be speaking out loud into a voice note. Again, I would make this a journal item. And maybe you just take 3 days if it's too much to do in one day. But I don't think it is. I think it's all stuff you could do right after you watch this. Just start jotting down right now what you're about to journal, so that to just, as soon as this is over, you can put a timer on, or you can just, start writing it down. Prefer handwritten, but you can also get on your computer and do it on your computer. And I would just write down, hey, I'm going to make this a brag journal. This one is going to be about me bragging about what I've been through, what I've accomplished, what I've done, what I've come out on the other side of, especially as it pertains to all of those lavender cards that we pulled, the things that got you into that that mental space that feels like, ugh, can't let go of this mindset. I feel like a prisoner to it. My thoughts are a little, they're really taking me. That temperance, that feeling of being out of balance, of like, why do you have to be there? Why did you go there in the first place? What puts you in that space? What is going to help get you out of that space? Really writing all those things down, what you're letting go of in your heart space. So really like making it in a braggy way though. And I want this to be obnoxious. Let yourself be obnoxious. Well, I went through this intense heartbreak, and even though it took me down to what felt like the bottom of the ocean, and I couldn't, like I could barely breathe sometimes in the middle of the night when I woke up at 2 a.m. And, as dramatic as you want it to be, feel free to get all the drama going on and then sort of brag about it. Then I figured out how to let go of that energy and breathe into it. And somehow I made it out on the other side, because I am a fierce warrior and I am like, let yourself be a little ridiculous. We're asking for action items and this is what's coming up. So I want you to dive into this. I want you to let yourself just lean in. Because then we have the Seven of Wands reversed. And this is an interesting card. So upright, this is this kind of like maintaining this space. It's this feeling of like, okay, it's going to take a little bit of effort. I'm going to try not to fall backwards, but I'm also not really going to push forward. So I just want to kind of like keep things where they are. I want to try not to make waves. I don't want to shift things too much. I don't want to, I know there's a saying in somewhere, rock the boat. I knew there was something in there. I don't want to rock the boat too much. I'm just going to try not to fall down backwards, and I don't have to make progress moving forward either. So just hold my ground kind of feeling. But this is in a reverse position, and what I'm really feeling is like, shake things up. Rock that boat. Do something a little crazy. Do things that don't feel comfortable at all. Do things that you're like, I don't know if this is moving backwards or moving forwards, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm not really sure if this is something that's going to completely like sideline me or make me feel like, like a little ridiculous, or if this is something that's going to help my growth exponentially. I don't know, but I'm going to rock the boat. I'm just going to shake things up. I'm going to try something different, even if it makes no sense at all. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to try something different. I'm going to do it a different way. I've been doing it this way. My mental, I've been in this pattern and my thoughts get to this space, but instead, you know what? I'm going to try having a dance break every 10 minutes. And especially while my mental thoughts are in this Eight of Swords space. And you know what? I'm in Eight of Swords, like feel mentally trapped. I feel like I'm running back into my old mindset over and over and over again. And when that happens, I am gonna have a dance break every 5 to 10 minutes, every hour. Whenever that happens, even if it just keeps on happening, I'm just gonna keep putting on a new song until that mood is gone, until those thoughts are gone, until I'm in the sunshine for a little bit, until something is a little different. Even if it takes me 4 hours to do something that should only take me 1 hour to do, like, I'm rocking this boat. I am not interested in just being that energy over and over and over again, so I'm gonna do something different. Okay, like whatever it could be, get creative, let yourself think outside of the box, let yourself do some, crazy, weird, dramatic stuff. And those are our action items that are coming in from our blue deck. Okay, now let's go ahead. Ooh, you know what? Okay. I want to move into our white deck. I want to move into our white deck because I love using the white deck to gain some clarity, to ask for outside advice from angels, ancestors, from your highest self, from whatever source you ascribe to, whatever feels authentic to me. I want to get some advice from that source. That is the source we're going to right now. So I'm going to my white deck for a little source material, for a little advice from source. Okay. Ooh, we have the Five of Swords. We have the Ten of Wands. This makes so much sense. And we have the Two of Wands. Okay. So this is like, I feel like this is like loving advice and guidance, but it also comes with a I want what's best for you. So I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff. I'm not going to make it, something that's not actually going to help you. I'm not going to say, oh, you should go buy some candy. And, it's like, hey, okay, this is what we got. There's some mean stuff going on. And I feel like, Source is saying this is the swords. We get into the 8 of Swords with you with that second card. And that feels like this is the same energy of like, hey, there is some cruelty going on in your mind. What I want you to locate and understand is that, first of all, that cruelty didn't originate with you. That cruelty originated outside of your mind. It originated outside of you. Someone, somewhere, maybe just an understanding of truth that like society's saying one thing, but actually they mean this. Or this person I love is saying this, but actually they mean this, and it's cruel and it's mean. There's something that's mean that's going on inside of you now that started somewhere else. Pinpoint where that started. Pinpoint where you've seen it in your life. Okay, like I'm having a hard time feeling worthy. I'm having a hard time loving myself or feeling lovable. And where might that have started? I think I had to really feel like I was earning the love of XYZ. And that gets me to a place now where I feel like if I'm not achieving, if I am not doing the thing, then I am not earning love and I am no longer lovable. And I think that is that first time where I started feeling like that. And now it's playing in my mind, and my mind has picked it up as a nope, you're not doing it, you're not lovable, you're not, so I want you to take a look at what those things might be. What might be there as a truth for you of where something started and began. And then also noticing that now you might be the only like cruel person in your mental space, that you have the option to not be the bully, that you might be bullying yourself. You might be saying things to yourself that you would never let anyone say to you, or to like a best friend, or if you, like that sort of like if you're seeing yourself as a child, your child self, would you ever let somebody else say that? No, that's terrible. So really looking at that, we have the 10 of Wands, that wand energy coming back around. So we have the 10 of Wands, and this is a card of completion, as the 10s are. Something ending and something beginning, but this is really a card of things can feel really hard. It can feel like a really big struggle. This card kind of reminds you, I'm just feeling this moment, but it does remind you, you can do hard things. You can see things to completion. You can feel like it is almost impossible. You can feel like you're sweating through it and it's difficult and it's backbreaking work, and you can still make it to the finish line. You can do that. You've proved that to yourself, Queen of Pentacles. You have proved that to yourself, that you have been able to see things through when you should not have been able to. And it's also saying from Source, like, things might feel really hard any moment along this journey. This might feel like, I don't think I can break this. I don't think I can break this mental habit. I don't think I can get balanced with this thing that's out of balance. I don't think I can let go of this thing that held so much heart space for me. I don't think I can, let go of this evil little voice inside me that's picked up from somebody, that's saying you're not worthy or you're not lovable or whatever it is that might be popping up. Whatever that is, Source is saying you can. You absolutely can. No matter what you think you are unable to do that comes up through here, you are absolutely capable of seeing it through. You absolutely can. You are strong enough. You've got this. You have got this. And remember, you can do hard things. And then we have the 2 of Wands. So we have another Wands card. And this is a sort of traveling card. This feeling of like, I do feel like this Source is saying this would be a great time to travel. If you have been thinking about making travel plans, I do think Source is saying this would be a great time to do it. Yeah, a great time to get outside of yourself. A great time to have an experience that, like, oh, Oh, okay. World is huge. The world is big. The world is, like these things back home that they don't feel so important anymore. Could be a really good time to sort of just open up your perspective, even if it's just a short trip, or if it's or if there is some big travel. This kind of feels like this could be a big travel card. So if you have been thinking about doing something, please comment in the comments. But also, now's the time. Source says now is the time. If you are absolutely like, there's no way I could take time off work, there is no time, like I do not have money for that, I do not have the energy for that, whatever might be coming up around, like, no, this is not a time for travel, I just traveled, I just did the thing, then I do think this is saying it's a good time to get outside of yourself. So this would be a good time to maybe even, like, you could pick out like maybe a couple movies that have subtitles, or that are from like countries you've never seen a movie from before, or something that just sort of gets you outside of yourself. It gets you outside of your normal. Again, rock that boat, shake things up, do something different. Comment, tell me what you're going to do that's different, how you're going to shake the boat, how you're going to shake things up. I want to hear about it. And I do think this card is asking you to, like, okay, you know what? Now is a good time for you to make a meal from somewhere else in the world. Let it be like, oh, I found this recipe that sounds like I could actually maybe make it, and I found this specialty grocery store that stocks these things, like, let yourself, again, be dramatic about it. You can do something big and dramatic, or you can do something small and just go to a different place that you've never been to. Walk up a street that's in your neighborhood that you just don't normally walk up or walk down, or notice. And when you're, if you're taking your dog for a walk, whatever it might be, choosing something, doing something that gets you outside of yourself. And again, comment about that. I want to hear, I want to know. Oh my. Oh. Okay, I feel like it's time for an oracle card. Wouldn't you say so? I'm gonna do a little guidance oracle card first. There's a lot of interesting stuff coming up here. Ooh. Oh, yes. Yes. Value yourself. Value yourself. Spend time nurturing you. That's what it says. A little guidance from our oracles. I love it. I do also have Angel and Ancestor cards, and I want to pull one of these too. I really like both of these decks so much. Power of the Elements and Angel and Ancestors. And we have from here, yeah, boy, I was feeling this. Snake, Shed Old Skin. This is powerful. We have a lot of powerful stuff going on, don't we? I believe that we do. Okay, let's go to our gold deck. We haven't gone to our gold deck yet. I know I'm really whipping out all of the decks, but I'm just feeling like I want to dip into different energy and ask different types of questions. So what I would like to ask now is sort of about the potential of this person. Because we really started with such strong cards from them about how they feel, if they're being 100% honest, if they're being 100% truthful, like, whoa, their feelings are really big. And we're seeing some action items for you if you want to sort of step into this. But what does this look like? If this, if this worked out, if this ended up being the thing, and you did move into it, and you took those action items, and what does this look like for you? What would this ultimately, what is the potential that we're seeing here with this person? I'm feeling 4 cards here. So, oh, nope, we got 5. Yeah, okay, so there we have it. So we have the Ace of Wands. We had the Ace of Pentacles when we pulled for you. We have the Ace of Wands, love that. Yeah, we have the Knight of Pentacles, love that too. 3 of Swords reversed, love it. The World, love it. And the 6 of Swords, love it, love it. Okay, this is what we're seeing here. So we're asking about the potential of, like, hey, you want to move into this, you're starting to walk forward. What does it actually look like? What does it actually feel like with this person? I hear a helicopter outside. You might be able to hear that as well. We have the Ace of Wands starting us off, and the aces get into new opportunities. And the wands, the wands are this fire, passion, purpose. this like, ooh, moving forward, unstoppable momentum. So really, and there's all this growth energy with it too. You'll always see things growing off the wands. And I do feel like this card always feels like a breath of fresh air. Like it feels like also like the Olympic torch, it's fire energies, the wands are, and it is this like, oh, I'm all like feeling of that like Olympic torch kind of feeling. It feels like something powerful is moving forward. It feels like the potential with you and this person has the opportunity to make you feel so alive, to make you both feel so alive, like the relationship itself is so alive, that it takes on its own aliveness, that it grows like a garden itself. It grows like a big tree would grow. It gets stronger and becomes flexible and becomes, like more interesting, and takes on a life of its own and has its own little ecosystem and has its own, like it's full of its own passion and purpose, and has this just sort of brilliance about it where it is growing of its own volition. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which makes so much sense. We have the Eight of Pentacles where we saw him off with those thoughts of what he would say, and with the Eight of Pentacles, and I'm feeling it in the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is this showing upness, this like consistency. This can also get into like this sort of abundant a person who like has a lot of success and financial success, and probably ends up being a person who's financially like solid. And honestly, like, hey, Queen of Pentacles, you are too. Like, so you probably, like, even if you have bumps and hurdles with financial things, you're kind of meant to be in a space that's like, actually, I'm really good with money. And like this sort of showing upness from him, I love this consistency of person. I love this like protector provider instinct. I love everything that's showing up there. The Three of Swords reversed feels like that heartbreak that we see from you earlier. We have both with our swords, with the thought space of the Eight of Swords, and with the letting go with the Eight of Cups. I feel like we're seeing this, like there's an opportunity here with the two of you for that to be part of just your past. It's something you do remember. It's not something that's totally forgotten. It's not totally like exorcised from your life or from your body or from your yourselves, but it's in the past. It's not something you're currently living with. It's not a living, breathing organism within that relationship. It is something that is no longer really part of your daily life. It's just part of like your history. It is just part of your past. Then we have the World, and the World is, again, a transitional card. It's the ending of something. It's the beginning of something. It is a card of transition. It is a card of like, this person would be a giant transition in your life. So this would be the kind of thing where you're like, oh, before them and after them. And before them, this was my life. And after them, this was my life. Like this was it's a whole new book. It's a whole new me. It's a whole new experience of everything. It's a whole new everything. Everything is different. Everything is changed. This person has changed everything. This is a whole new chapter, whole new book, whole new everything. And there's this transition. And it's also joyful. We have the Dancer in the middle there. This is joyful. It's free. It's vulnerable. You get to be yourself. You get to joyfully dance through being the best version of you, a very vulnerable version of you, where you just feel comfortable enough to completely be yourself, which is gorgeous. I love that. And then we have the Six of Swords, which I love here as well too, because this is a card very similar to the Eight of Cups, letting go of heart space, letting go of things from the past, moving forward, moving on, that we had for you. And the Six of Swords, again, with that mental space, I feel like has that letting go aspect. What I really love about this is we have that sword space for you. Now we have it with the Three of Swords as well. But we had it really with the Eight of Swords, which was that like sort of tortured mindset that we got into, that was like, ooh, that feels, a little dangerous. And we had the Five of Swords pop up that, a source was saying like, hey, this cruelty that's happening in your mind space, which swords get into mind space, that started outside of you, that started with somebody else, but also you are now the one who is perpetrating that. You are now the one who is yielding, wielding wielding those swords, those thoughts, that mental space. And what I really love about this that kind of gives me the chills a little bit is like there are three figures here. There's, you know, the two adults and a child. But this is really saying like you become a unit and you become what feels like a family, whatever that is, if that's, you know, you and them and an animal, or you and them and, you know, your children, or you and them and, you know, or whatever that looks like or feels like to you. But it feels like as a unit, as a family unit, you are leaving that mental space behind, that you are letting go of that mental space, that mental space is something you are letting go of and you are leaving behind, that you are, you know, there's something where they do the hard work with you, that there is some aspect of like, I don't just have to do it alone, which we do see the responsibility is yours. The cards do tell us that. The Eight of Swords tells us that it's your responsibility to get out of that mental space, that you staying in that mental space is on you. You have to be the one who says, okay, I'm done with this space. I don't want this anymore. I want to be happy. I want to be free from this. But this card is also saying that in that, you know, like if this, you know, if this is something you leaned into, this person would also be by your side, continuously sort of walking that path with you. Maybe these are thoughts that come up from time to time, or there are things that, I mean, there are things that just come up from time to time in our mental spaces that you wouldn't be going through those difficult things alone. You would be going through them as a unit, which feels pretty beautiful. Whew. Oh my. I think we should pull two more cards. You have been with me for a long time and I appreciate you staying with me. I really do. Okay, wait. Before we pull our last from our Pink Sassy deck, our last cards. Oh gosh, there's so many beautiful things. I would like, you know, the snake is popping up with the shed the old skin. So I would like to pop a snake below. Pop a snake below. I would like for you to subscribe and love this video. I would like for you to really just write any kind of comment, anything that you're feeling, anything you're getting off this, any action items you're like, I am definitely going to take those action items, anything that feels like, wow, that part really hit me, that thing about, you know, like being cruel to myself mentally, like, yes, I do that, like anything that feels like you feel comfortable enough saying it. But if you don't feel comfortable saying it, that's okay too. You can just say, hey, I'm here and I love you. And, you know, like, this was great. I'm here for that too. But if you do feel vulnerable enough to, you know, sort of share, I would love to hear. I would love to hear. Okay. So I am sending you off with these two cards. These two cards are just open cards. They're open to anything. They could have to do with this person, this relationship, your relationship with yourself, that mental space. They could have to do with none of this at all. This could have something to do with something completely different. We're just open to what is coming through. Oh, we have the King of Wands and we have the Two of Cups. Oh my. The King of Wands and the Two of Cups. Oh, I just feel like we could do a whole nother reading. Is this King of Wands to do with this person, or King of Cups, which is what we pulled at first? It feels like it very well could. We might want to, I'm going to make sure there's a link for, you might want to grab a soulmate reading. You might want to grab a little extra reading just to see like, hey, are there a bunch of things coming in for me right now? Because there might be something else coming in for you as well. But it does feel like regardless, this is saying that there, whether it's this person or another person, someone who is passionate and fierce and fiery and, you know, moving forward with unstoppable energy, no obstacles in the way, that feels like, you know, the Two of Cups is very much like the Lover's card in the Minor Arcana. It feels like, oh, this could be a really, really strong relationship. Could be this person, could be someone else. If you have an immediate internal, oh, this is this person, oh, this is someone else, then write that down in your intuition notebook or just acknowledge it to yourself. Because there's something big and powerful coming your way. And I feel like no matter what, the cards are really saying, hey, this is the time where stuff is really popping up for you in your love life, in your romantic space. There is some really potent, powerful energy around you right now that's just like opening stuff up. So I would take that action that the cards are asking. Watch this back if you need to watch it back. Take that action. It's worth it. This is, I always say it's like so beautiful to lean into the energy that already exists. If you're already like in one direction, it's so much easier to continue going that direction. It's so much easier to just start running downhill than it is to do the opposite. It's such a lovely time for you to like really lean in, do the action items, do the things. This is a beautiful time where things are really opening up here for you. So utilize that. Use it as a diving board, as a bouncing board, and off you go, right into it. Just off you go. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to hear. You know what to do. Boy, I'm sending you love. I'm sending you so much light, so much clarity, so much peace, so much abundance, so much self-love, so much so much ability to see how beautiful and exquisite you are, and where you have been, and how that has made you who you are now, and what you are capable of now. I'm sending every good thing your way. I'm going to see you again so very, very soon. Mwah. Mia.